I'm going to read the rules of the forum that were released to the candidates a week or so ago. And there has been a change that they've all 100% agreed to. Part of the rules that we have in our forum is when a candidate responds to a question being asked, we were giving them only 30 seconds to reply. But we've changed that to 60 seconds to reply. They can use it all or not. That's whatever they want to do. So candidates will draw numbers to determine order for giving opening remarks. This has already been done. Candidates will be given 2 minutes for closing remarks. That's also been done. Written questions will be submitted by members of the audience. No questions will be taken from the floor. Please feel free to write questions down during the forum that you may have just thought of based on what they just said, and raise your hand, and Frances with her hand up and Sylvia will come around and get your questions. Candidates will be allowed to provide an answer to every question, not to exceed 60 seconds, not 30. When a question is addressed to one candidate, that candidate alone does not get to answer. Every candidate answers the same question. Commissioner candidates will receive questions for 20 minutes. Sheriff candidates will receive questions for 40 minutes. After audience questions have been completed, each candidate will be allowed to ask one question to one candidate of his choice. Respond time to that will be limited to 30 seconds, maybe 60. We didn't talk about that one. Okay, so we can just do that for 60 too. 60 also. Candidates will be shown a yellow warning indicating 10 seconds remaining. Candidates will be shown a red warning when time expires, and Tommy's over there with that. And Nancy, I'm going to turn it over to you. I think, no, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and start this forum. Oh, we have some? Yeah, are there any more out there? Questions? I guess we're ready. Okay, I'm going to sit down so that everybody can see them. Oh, yes, sir.
So you guys.
Y'all pass that back.
Say it is the one.
Just go ahead and finish.
Testing. There you go.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
When's my time start?
Yeah, it'll be time when he says it's time. Hello? There? Okay. All right, when Tommy starts the 20 minutes, we'll start. And you know, Mike and Salome, when you guys drew for your opening and closing statements, you both drew the same order both times, so we're gonna be fair. So, Mike, go ahead and start with your 2 minutes of your opening remarks.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you for everybody for attending. I really appreciate everybody. My name is Mike Pearson. I also go by Michael Pearson. I've been in service all my life. I started when I was knee-high to a grasshopper at my grandfather's cafe, swatting flies on the windows, and I've graduated on through that, serving military and 2 tours in Vietnam, 1 up in the North Pacific. I have been a pharmacist. I went to OU School of Pharmacy, graduated in '76. Thought that would be a good service. that I wanted to be in hospital. Instead, I was forced into retail, didn't care for it, became a telephone repairman. Did a lot of service for a lot of people. I know what customer service is. I excelled in that. I really worked hard in that. And so after 28 and a half years of meeting people and fixing phones and doing it the right way and getting a lot of customer satisfaction, I had learned after a decade here in East Logan County why our roads were so terrible. And so I elected to see if I could become the commissioner so I could do something about that. I have put together a crew that is phenomenal, and we do an awful lot. I've paved 20 miles of road. I have 2 more coming before election. I have 2 more that will be after election should I be reelected. And that averages 3 miles per year. That is more than the last 3 county commissioners rolled together. Let me quote, if I can, Terry Wagner, who is the retired fire chief from Meridian Volunteer Fire Department. He wanted me to quote him. He says, "We have better roads than we have ever had since I moved here in 1978. We have worked on the rural roads, we have worked on the local roads. I am tested, I am proven. I have individual participation, I'm always available." Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Well, Salam, we're going to ask you to stand up. I should have asked Mike to stand up. Everybody can see you better if you don't mind standing up.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We're giving you 2 minutes and 30 seconds because we didn't, Tommy wasn't ready when I went too early, so you get 2 minutes and 30 seconds, just like Mike did.
Thank you very much.
Opening remarks, yes.
I would like to thank the women of the First Capital Republican Women's Group for hosting, co-hosting, and for all of their wonderful decorations. And I would also like to thank the service people that are here today. If you served in the military, thank you for your service, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. There's a woman in heaven, and she raised me, and she was a drill sergeant during Korea. And let me tell you, that's a tough place to be when you're a girl. So thank you for your service. I believe that I would be a good county commissioner to Logan County because I am trained. I've got a CDL. I have also been a DOT safety officer. I've driven over 3 million miles in my own truck around the country. I know roads. I know what it takes to build them. I have hauled asphalt, rock, and I have helped to actually write some legislation that Trust Transportation has got going right now. I've got a paralegal degree. I've got a degree from OU, and I work for 6 attorneys and 1 judge right now. So I know legal documents. I know how to handle government contracts. But more than anything, I live in Logan County. This is my home. This is where I wanted to live the last time on this planet so that I could give property to my children, my grandchildren, and that they would be able to live in a community of people that valued the American Constitution and valued their neighbors next door. When I started looking at the commissioner's office in Logan County, I was not considering running. I was thinking that maybe I could help. Maybe I could look at the budget and see why in the world, in 7 years, the budget in Logan County wasn't balanced. Then I found out another reason I wanted to run. I was specifically told that Logan County has spies hired. Thank you.
All right, thank you both. We will start the timer now for 20 minutes with the first question. You guys ready? Oh. All right, you ready? All right, first question. What knowledge and experience do you have with budgeting?
Budgeting, I have the experience of budgeting that I have here in Logan County as a commissioner. I have the experience that is in all the officers that are here, so we go by that. As for my personal budget, I budget my own personal budget so that it balances. Budgets here have to balance.
Salon?
I've helped to budget Oklahoma County's courthouse. I've also helped, excuse me, I'll stand up, I am short. Oh, I'm vertically challenged. I have helped with budgets for different case loads around the country for different courts. I've also helped budgets for transportation companies around the country. I was the DOT and safety officer and the logistics officer for 3 different transportation companies in Oklahoma. It takes budgeting, management, and skill to be able to transport products and to be able to do it in a budget.
Go ahead and stand up. You'll take the next question first, Salon.
Thank you.
All right, the next question is, if elected, what is your first county issue you would like to address?
Well, actually, the first issue that I would like to address is a safety issue. During times of disaster, and we are right now in our tornado season, it has been mentioned to me that there have been phone calls and emergency information that has not been addressed. We have school buses on roads and bridges that have not been addressed. We have some of the worst bridges in the state of Oklahoma, not just in Logan County. And I believe that needs to be addressed, the safety of our children and our residents getting back and forth to school and to work.
Thank you.
Could you repeat the question, please?
If you're re-elected, Commissioner, what is your first county issue you would like to address?
The major issue is economic development. We have an awful lot of surge coming into the county, and that traffic has to be addressed. When you pave as many roads as we have, business comes, and therefore we need to do that. Safety certainly is an issue. As a question, to that question, we've replaced over a dozen bridges, and we have gravelled and stabilized many hundreds of roads, as well as paved them to make them safer for our school buses and for our citizens. Also to get our emergency services to their homes. So we have done a lot in the last 7 years to make these roads safe for everyone. And currently, since I have a minute, I did persuade ODOT to replace all our guardrails going on the bridges going over I-35. This is something that has not been done since 1960 and was in dire need. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Current County Commissioner Mike Pearson gives out his personal cell phone. This is for Sloan right now. This is just, sometimes there's just going to be a single response. Gives out his personal cell phone, and you can contact him 24/7. Will you give out your personal cell phone, and will you be as available as Mike?
I will be available 24/7, 365 days a year, because I understand that is the position that needs to be addressed in Oklahoma County, and the commissioner, when they get elected, They are your commissioner.
Okay, thank you.
I've been giving out my cell phone number since I was a phone man. Everybody, I need your observations. I cannot find out what is going on my roads with just the personnel I have. I need them. I want them. And don't depend upon somebody else to call me. I'm there. It's personal service is what I give. I have many friends, many neighbors, acquaintances that have become very good friends all across the district. And they can call me anytime, we text, we do everything. My personal cell phone number now has, getting close to 3,500 contacts. I use them. I use them very much. And when there's a fire or something like that, I'm out there in front of that fire with my app, oops, telling everybody there's a fire coming.
Thank you. Jared, right there. Thank you. Okay, can you both name at least 2 organizations or boards that Mike serves on as a county commissioner in or out of the county? I don't know, that's kind of a, does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. Can you both name at least 2 organizations or boards that you serve on?
What boards do? I think that would be a singular question for me because I'm not certain that.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. I currently serve on the Central Oklahoma Community Action Agency, an organization which is able to give sustenance to people who are down on their luck, who might be within 5 days of having their utilities turned off, various different services that way, as well as interim housing and getting jobs and doing their income taxes and various and sundry things that people can afford. I also sit on the Central Oklahoma Workforce Committee, and what that does is finds people and puts them together with resources so they can train for jobs, and job employers use this service diligently, much more so than any kind of employment service.
Thank you. Do you have anything to say about any boards or so on?
I do know that I looked at a couple of boards that some of the commissioners actually have been on, and one of them is OCCBD, and that means that they get the opportunity to discuss funds that come through the state, federal, to each different county,
Okay.
along with the budget board for Logan County. And I know that that's a big issue right now.
Okay, thank you. I think Mike had that first question last time, so I'll ask you this question first.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
at present, we have a county commissioner who is not cooperating with the other 2 commissioners. How would you cooperate as a county commissioner, Sloan?
Well, I think communication is the best key, and to be able to be educated and to find out just exactly why or how that commissioner is thinking. So you have to know what they're looking at, what kind of documents they're getting their information from, and to find out if there's a way that you might be able to persuade them to your side. If not, you can actually talk to the voters, and the voters are the ones that should be able to be the voice. The commissioner is only there for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And please stand up. Please stand up, Mike. Yeah.
When you have 3 commissioners that work together, your roads look a lot better. I give you the, for instance, of, well, Commissioner Piercy, I apologize. I did fill the potholes on Choctaw Road in your district over there close to Langston. He knew it would be really helpful for everybody there. We work in synergy. We trade equipment. We trade personnel. Personnel comes to one area or the other area. It's not anything. This is one county, and every county commissioner is a county commissioner for the whole county. Yes, they represent the individuals that are in their district, but they also represent the entire county, and they need to be professional about that and handle themselves with decor.
Thank you. This next question is for Ms. Vaughn, so please stand up. Thank you.
Thank you.
To see how well you know this district you are running for, can you tell us the roads that serve as boundaries of this district, north, east, south, and west?
Well, I believe south is Waterloo. I believe north is the Interstate 33 going up towards Langston through Coyle. I believe the east boundary is I-35, a little bit on the other side of I-35, but mainly I-35 on the west side, and the east side would be Indian Meridian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My
Mr.
turn.
Pearson, do you want, I don't think you, do you want to answer that? If you want to, go ahead.
Mark Long lives on Potawatomi Road next to Lincoln County. 1/3 of my district is 1/4 of the Iowa tribe. I have Waterloo all the way up to the Cimarron River with an arm that's come out. I have Mike Nivens and Daryl Nivens all live right there on the edge, Larry Stinchcomb. I have all of them. They are friends of mine. Hiwassee Road goes all the way up to the Cimarron and goes across the Cimarron River. Nobody really understands. Yes, there's a concrete bridge going right up Hiwassee Road. It's also known as Pleasant Valley Road. And then on the west side, it's Cedar Road with a little addition at the very bottom, square mile, called Green Oaks Ranchettes.
Thank you, Mike. Go ahead and keep standing, Commissioner. This is going to be for both of you, and I think you're next as far as first. How do you propose to fund future projects such as bridges and roads?
Well, that's easy. Every opportunity I get, I do. I'm scratch. I seriously pursue money. Now, how do you pursue money? Well, there's grants. There's funding through federal, through state, through individuals. There's people who are developers that you get them, or there's interaction with the other county, like what we're doing on Waterloo Road right now to get Waterloo paved. It hadn't been repaved since, what, 1965, I think? And it's time for it to be repaved with all that traffic. So, yes, you work with people. You have to interact with them, and there is where that personal touch occurs, where individually we're able to communicate with all these people. Thank you.
Thank you. Same question, please stand up, Salome.
Thank you.
I'll repeat the question. How do you propose to fund further future projects such as bridges and roads?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I know that the road funding comes from your gas tax, and it's distributed through the state. Logan County also has the opportunity to enter into grant situations, and you need to write the grants and submit them to different organizations that are providing funding, mainly federal, some state. There is also some organizations that provide individual funding for roads such as like Phillips did when the Phillips holding tank came in, which was very close to the southern portion of Logan County. So I would do my best to actually research, educate myself, and be able to write grants, discuss information with legislators and the Trust Foundation to find funding for trucks.
Thank you. Commissioner, this question is just for you, and then with the remaining 4 minutes we have, there's one last question for both of you. Mike, will your road crew go to the next county commissioner meeting whether you're the new commissioner or not?
Some will, some won't. It's their choice. I mean, we have an aging road crew. I don't know if they would be able to break in a new commissioner, if that's what the question is. I really honestly don't know what they would do. But I can tell you I work with my men very, very well. I treat them as professionals. They know what they're doing. If they don't, then they get the training. It's really amazing how somebody will call me, a road grader does something that they don't care for. All I have to do is contact that road grader at that moment and get them to come back there and fix whatever it is that they were wanting. I have a lot of response, very, very fast response. So I don't know if that intercommunication between the employees and the new commissioner would get them to continue to say or retire.
Do you have anything to respond to that at all, so long it's not, I mean, if you'd like to, please do.
Could you repeat that question, please?
This was for Mike, but it said, will your current road crew go to the next county commissioners meeting whether you're elected or not? So if you're elected, what will you do with the current?
Thank you. Well, I would hope that the crews would consider me a good boss and that they would look at me as being a newly elected official and that they would understand that I would be able to give them training, management skills that I contain so that I could actually schedule work and also provide them with a professional office where they would have the opportunity to be an employee but at the same time part of a team.
Thank you, Salam. Just please stand, I'm going to let you answer this next question first. This is the next to the last question. What is your goal for the county in the next 4 years?
Would you repeat the question?
What is your goal for the county for the next 4 years?
Well, first I would like to see a county budget that is balanced. Then I would like to see the opportunity to have a savings fund so that we could provide something very similar to what one of the other commissioners has done, and he has been able to save an additional funding to actually pave one additional road mile in his district. I would also like to see the opportunity for a forum where actually the residents get the opportunity to have transparency and know exactly what is happening with their money in their county. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner?
Repeat the question.
What is your goal for the county for the next 4 years?
The goal for the county, for the entire county, is economic development. More roads, safer bridges, getting things together. We have a balanced budget. Every year is balanced. Has to balance, required by law. Regardless, we need more funding. I would like to see some legislation change. The legislation we have throws down edicts at us. That is very debilitating, very hard to do. I would to implement. I would very much like to see the legislators change some laws. Currently, they have some laws that have edicted to us certain things that we just It's really debilitating to our citizens. So I would like to do a little lobbying on that, and have done some here for some time lately. But yes, they're robbing our funds, the CIRB funds, they are robbing, and it's costing us roads.
Thank you. We're going to add 10 more minutes to your form because of our paperwork shuffle up here, so I have 2 more questions left for you.
Okay.
All right. I think you were the one, Ms. Vaughn, that invoked the term spies. Would you please tell us about the spies?
Yes, thank you very much. Well, it kind of was an interesting conversation I was having, and I was concerned about some of the truck traffic in Logan County, and I was advised that there were spies on his payroll that told him who was actually traveling on our roads. And I was like, spies? Are you kidding me? That's not something that, but that's exactly what I was told, and those are the exact words. He said he had spies on his payroll to tell him who was actually driving on Logan County roads. Thank you.
Commissioner, if you want to respond to that.
Well, it's not really in the job description for commissioners to be disturbed about spies. I think that's more of a law enforcement issue, possibly, or maybe a federal issue of some kind. Regardless, I have individuals all over this district who report to me the conditions of my roads, the condition of my bridges, when a board is loose, when it has to be nailed back down, a washout. I have washouts come here, there, and otherwhere. They report to me or to my office. And we also have internet accessibility that way. We are very responsive, and that way we're able to knock a problem in the head real quick. But those are my spies. Thank you.
Stand up, Commissioner. Well, this is the last question, and you're first in line. Why pave Waterloo when other county roads need gravel and maintenance?
They are being gravelled and maintenance, and they continue to be gravelled and maintenance. I'm just going through paving, graveling like 12 miles of road, 8 miles of Indian Meridian. I continue to gravel and gravel and gravel. Waterloo Road has a huge traffic volume on it. It's very unsafe where it hasn't been repaved, and it's in dire need of it. So the requirement of a commissioner is to pay attention to the needs of the most people. That doesn't mean that you don't apply to the needs of the few either. I had 3 families, for instance, that each had a medically challenged individual in them, and a little 3-ton bridge, wood bridge, that emergency services couldn't get across, and I replaced that bridge real quick and gravelled the road, going over the Cliff Channel. So we aren't ignoring anybody.
Thank you. Salon.
Thank you.
Why pave Waterloo when other county roads need gravel and maintenance?
Well, right now Waterloo is in desperate need of paving, but it is also co-joined with Oklahoma County. So those funds are not all Logan counties. Some of those funds are Oklahoma County. In fact, I spoke with one of the commissioners in Oklahoma County and was having a discussion about Waterloo Road myself, because I am concerned about what's happening with Waterloo and I-35. So I can tell you that Waterloo and Oklahoma County co-partner with Logan County for those funds. Thank you.
Thank you. The last thing we're going to do are your closing remarks for 2 minutes, and Mike, you drew the first slot.
But we have a question of our opponent then after.
Oh, sorry, did I ask you that? What did you say? Oh, you do have the question. Yes, thank you for reminding me that. That's why we sent the rules out to y'all, to help us.
So, you want me to ask a question?
I do.
Salam, I've been in Logan County here for 30 years, serving Logan County. Could you tell me your history of Logan County and how, when you became a Republican here in Logan County?
Yes, thank you. Well, I can tell you I became a Republican when I was 18 years old, which was a long time ago. But I came to Logan County the first time in 1994, and I was very fortunate enough to get the opportunity to move back here in 2007. I left so that I could pursue some personal dreams, and I did that and got the opportunity to pursue some more personal dreams by coming back to a home that I absolutely love. I'm on an airport, and I have the opportunity to live in an area that has got great community service, and the people here are wonderful, and that's why I'm here. Thank you.
All right, you are allowed to ask a question to the commissioner.
Mr. Pearson, you say you've been in Logan County serving for 40 years, 30, and as a service person, do you feel like all phone calls deserve to be answered and all community information needs to be addressed when someone asks a question?
I return every phone call that I miss. I always go back with those. I try to answer the phone calls when they are given to me, as well as emails and messages from Facebook and various and sundry other communication avenues. So I continually do that. I have open book policy. I understand that you maybe are addressing a certain issue, but I believe that when, in this case, you needed to be able to get that yourself. But my books are totally open to everybody. It's a different situation. My books are always open. You're always able to come in and get any kind of information. There's always the Freedom of Information Act through our county clerk's office. Everything is open book, and it's required by law. Not only that, but I want everybody to understand what limited resources our road districts have.
Thank you, Commissioner. And now we're going to start the 2 minutes for closing statements. And you drew the first slot, Mike.
I've done my very best here in East Logan County, knowing full well what I got into. The roads were horrible. We have given roads to everybody. It's been non-discriminatory. We've down on the Scourging Way, Deer Drive, Antelope, and all those other kind of roads. Harrod Road, going north of the winery. Luther Road, which, by the way, is slated to be paved here in 18, assuming that the legislators don't rob our money, our CIRB money. They've already robbed a lot of it. And I'm just really on pins and needles as to more of our projects going south that depend upon that CIRB money. I want to fight for that. I want to fight for roads and bridges. That's what I've always done. I'm in service to people, and that's just my core being. It's my fiber, my heritage, my genes. I love service, and I want to continue serving. I don't need the job necessarily from the standpoint of money. I have retirement from AT&T. I have Social Security. My wife has Social Security, pension. I get in a pension from the state. I honestly don't need this job, but I love this job. I love the interaction with people. I love going out on the roads. I love fixing problems. And this is my passion. This district, this county is my love. And I love to continue.
Thank you, Salome.
Well, thank you all for your patience. And I would like to say that I believe that I would be a very good county commissioner because I will not push budget information, any kind of budget problems under the rug. It is public record that for the last 7 years, Logan County has not been balanced. It's not up for any kind of discussion. It's public information. I would like to see the opportunity for Logan County to have a balanced budget next year. And I think the only way we're going to do that is if we change the people that are actually pushing the buttons and making those decisions. One county commissioner is not the only person that can do that. However, one county commissioner can possibly make a difference by helping to educate the other people that are involved. And we need to look at things that have to do with the people that live here. It's your money. It's not the county commissioners. It doesn't belong to the sheriff. It doesn't belong to the other elected officials. It belongs to you. I believe I'm the best opportunity for some change in Logan County. Thank you.
Let's give both these candidates a round of applause.